Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Recap of Sister Wives, Tell-All Part 2, Robyn mooing, Janelle, Christine, and Kody's abuse, among other things. The Tale of Sister Wives Season 19, everything has been quite spicy and is obviously the talk of the town. Here is a summary of everything that happened in the episode, which had a lot of events. Janelle and Christine shared a lot with host Suki during the one-on-one session. Robyn also talked about how she handles criticism and being referred to as a sacred cow. Kody has never before been questioned about his unsuccessful attempts at polygamy. Janelle held him responsible for their family's disintegration and made numerous accusations against him. Regarding Christine, she took aim at Kody, who still assigns blame to his ex. She went on to say that Kody will never accept responsibility for his acts and will instead attempt to shift the blame to another person. Sister Wives, Christine considers her unusual preoccupation with Kody. In a recent conversation with Sukanya Krishnan, Christine Woolley came clean about her past obsessive obsession with Kody. In hindsight, she thinks it all a little strange and awkward. She talked about how she always went out of her way to win his approval. It was unjust of her to neglect her and her family's happiness for him. Christine thought about how she gradually lost herself in the process, particularly because Kody never tried to compromise with her. His timetable had to be the center of everything. She understands now that he didn't value her. A synopsis of the second tell-all episode of Sister Wives. Robyn made her debut in the one-on-one session with Suki during the second tell-all segment. She attempted, as usual, to avoid answering the questions and admitted that she is Miss Innocent and knows nothing. Robyn went on to say that she doesn't know if Kody was biased against her. She went on to say that she does not understand why Janelle did not feel the same way during her marriage and that she feels comfortable telling him everything. She also made a concerted effort to appear indifferent to Janelle's remark about the sacred cow. Nothing worries her right now, she added. To support her argument, Robyn also produced the moo sound. She advised the ex-wives not to use her name and instead focus on their relationships. Robyn isn't innocent, Janelle informed Suki, and she was a major factor in the family's dissolution. She went on to say that Kody adopted a more villainous persona in order to keep her safe. She went so far as to accuse him of evolving over time. Remarkably, Janelle also mentioned that Robyn was initially intrigued by polygamy and what they were attempting to construct. But slowly, she transformed. Mary, however, criticized Kody's destructive behavior and expressed shock at having lived with him for so long. Kody's sexual encounter with Mary was deemed inappropriate and extremely rude by both Mary and Christine. In addition, he and Suki engaged in a verbal sparring match. She received a lot of flack for being a man-child, trying to change the subject, and avoiding responsibility. Remarkably, Kody responded to the questions without arguing with her. However, Kody also mentioned that he would like to get to know David and accompany him on a boys' trip. Christine is attacked by Mary Brown in Sister Wives, Tell-All Part 3. Sister Wives, was Mary tricked by Kody Brown? In the first and second segments of the Tell-All, Mary Brown's odd familiarity toward Kody was immediately observed by certain Sister Wives fans. It was made even clearer when Mary saw an old video of herself and Kody together, in which she unintentionally backed into him, resulting in a funny yet awkward situation. Mary even took pleasure in the fact that Kody saw her as his favorite ex-wife. Some, however, believe that 2 weeks before to the tell-all, Kody had influenced Mary. They think he became friends with her in order to keep her from disparaging him at the tell-all, and it appeared to work out. Even the fact that Kody was mourning her leaving the family and displaying feelings he hadn't displayed in years perplexed Mary. Christine is attacked by Mary in Tell-All Part 3. A new teaser video for the Sister Wives Tell-All's impending Part 3 has been made public by TLC. During the one-on-one interview, Mary Brown attacks Christine for bringing David Woolley in and discussing their ex-husband, Kody. Why the hell is Christine sitting there and talking to her husband about her ex? Mary yelled at Suki. Janelle and Kody Brown, Sister Wives, argue about Coyote Pass. In Part 3 of the Sister Wives Tell-All, Kody Brown will also admit that he withheld information from Janelle because he simply doesn't trust her with the Coyote Pass property. However, Janelle thinks it only demonstrates Kody's self-centered nature. Mary also believes that the Coyote Pass shown their level of trustworthiness. After a protracted argument, Kody and his ex-wives reportedly sold the entire Coyote Pass. When it sold for $1.5 million, Robyn, Janelle, Mary, and Kody divided the proceeds. Since she had previously sold her portion of the property to Kody and Robyn after leaving the family for $10, Christine was unable to participate. Why Sister Wives Tell-Alls didn't address Garrison Brown's death. The Brown family from Sister Wives has rarely acted in a sophisticated manner. But when it comes to their response to the passing of Garrison Brown, the son of Kody and Janelle Brown, that appears to be the case at last. The entire family suffered a terrible loss, and for once, they appeared to be in agreement about how they handled, or failed to handle, it on the show. Unfortunately, Garrison committed suicide on March 5, 2024. His demise sent shockwaves through the entire family. However, the Brown family chose not to go into great detail about Garrison's passing on the show, rather than splattering it everywhere and sensationalizing such a traumatic event in their lives. Instead, they decided on an appropriate remembrance. The Sister Wives Tell-All crew discovered that day that there would be no discussion of Garrison Brown's passing. This also persisted during the tell-all. The death of Garrison was unacceptable. On the day of the interviews, host Sukanya Suki Krishan and her staff learned they would be discussing Garrison. On the podcast of The Sarah Fraser Show, Suki discussed it briefly. Sarah discussed her experiences interviewing the Brown family with Suki on the show. She discussed the special family dynamic, how she established a secure environment, and the reasons she chose not to discuss Garrison's death. How did you discover that the tell-all would not cover Garrison? That day, Suki revealed, we learned that they didn't want to go there. That's why I offered my condolences at the beginning of the show. I applaud TLC for doing a beautiful job honoring him in the way they could, she continued. It is challenging, but it also serves as a network for the exchange of knowledge while maintaining a line of respect and understanding. I have no idea what people desire. That is surrounded by enough tragedy, grief, and despair. Undoubtedly, Sister Wives has experienced its share of highs and lows. However, it appears that they wish to keep Garrison from dying while performing in the circus. They tried their best to honor his life and not only discuss his death but also to enjoy it. Robyn Brown mooing and playing the innocent victim card. Let's start with the moment that practically broke the internet, Robyn Brown's mooing incident. Yes, during her solo sit-down with Suki, Robyn addressed Janelle's previous sacred cow comment that labeled her as untouchable in Kody's eyes. Instead of showing offense or vulnerability, Robyn bizarrely leaned into the metaphor and made an actual moo sound on camera. Some fans viewed this as a desperate attempt at humor, others saw it as a deflection tactic meant to dismiss a serious accusation. Regardless, the moment quickly went viral, sparking memes and renewed criticism of Robyn's behavior on the show. Rather than acknowledging the weight behind Janelle's metaphor, which suggested that Kody prioritized Robyn over his other wives, Robyn chose mockery over introspection. When asked about Kody possibly having a bias toward her, Robyn responded with her usual evasiveness, claiming she didn't know and had no idea why others felt that way. Her refusal to admit any privilege in her relationship with Kody felt disingenuous at best. Robyn continued to brand herself as Miss Innocent, but Janelle and Christine weren't having it this time around. Janelle Brown breaks her silence, Kody's transformation into a villain. Janelle Brown, once considered the most grounded and least confrontational of the sister wives, came to the tell-all ready to speak her truth. And speak it she did. Janelle shared that Kody had fundamentally changed over the years. While he once claimed to be a father and husband devoted to building a unified family, Janelle said that role disappeared as he increasingly became defensive, angry, and disconnected. She accused Kody of willfully choosing sides and aligning himself with Robyn even when it hurt others. According to Janelle, Kody stepped into a villainous role to protect Robyn, often throwing his other wives and even his children under the bus to keep peace in his relationship with her. She also accused Robyn of no longer being invested in polygamy, despite pretending otherwise during the early years of her entrance into the family. What's most telling about Janelle's statements is her shift in tone. Gone is the loyal wife who used to defend Kody's decisions even when she disagreed with them. In her place is a woman who has experienced betrayal, disappointment, and emotional abandonment. Christine Brown confronts her past fixation on Kody. Perhaps the most poignant part of Tell All Part 2 was Christine Woolley's raw reflection on her past obsession with making things work with Kody. She candidly admitted to Suki that she had a weird fixation with Kody, something she now looks back on with a mix of embarrassment and disbelief. Christine confessed that she bent over backward for Kody, often prioritizing his happiness over her own and disregarding the well-being of her children. She described the way she slowly lost herself trying to accommodate his needs, even though he made little to no effort to meet her halfway. "He didn't respect me," Christine said, firmly. And with that one statement, years of quiet pain were validated. She's not bitter, she's wise now. Christine finally sees the imbalance for what it was, and she's no longer apologizing for choosing herself and her new life with David Woolley. Mary Brown unleashes her truth: Kody was emotionally inappropriate. Mary Brown, who often kept her emotions bottled up for years, finally used this platform to express just how deeply Kody had hurt her. While she's usually the most careful with her words during reunions, Mary was shockingly transparent this time. She didn't just hint at emotional neglect, she called it out directly. Mary slammed Kody's behavior as toxic, and even called his sexual interactions with her inappropriate and disrespectful. She expressed disbelief at how long she endured the mistreatment, a realization that came much later than she would have liked. Mary's commentary was echoed by Christine, who backed her up and reinforced that what Kody did to Mary, especially post-catfish scandal, was degrading. The women, who used to be at odds, seemed to have found common ground in the aftermath of emotional trauma. Kody Brown, from blame shifting to a failed attempt at redemption. Kody Brown was, unsurprisingly, defensive throughout the tell-all. But what made this particular segment fascinating was the degree to which Suki held him accountable. For once, he was pushed to answer the hard questions without deflecting or walking off set. Still, he did his best to shift blame. He argued that the breakdown in his marriages wasn't entirely his fault, and insisted that his ex-wives were non-compliant with the family's structure. When Suki challenged him on that narrative, Kody floundered but surprisingly kept his cool, even if his answers didn't satisfy anyone watching. The most bizarre moment? Kody said he would be open to forming a bond with David Woolley, Christine's new husband. He even floated the idea of going on a boys' trip with him. Whether that was sarcasm or a genuine, if misguided, olive branch is anyone's guess. But it was certainly an unexpected twist in the interview. The bigger picture, Sister Wives is no longer about polygamy, it's about survival. What made this tell-all different wasn't just the sensational quotes or Robyn's cow impersonation. It was the undeniable shift in tone from all the wives, except Robyn. This was no longer about preserving a fractured plural marriage or trying to appear harmonious for the cameras. This was a group of women who had endured years of emotional hardship and finally felt safe enough to say the truth. Christine, Janelle, and Mary are no longer fighting for Kody's attention, they're fighting for themselves. Their stories are not only heartbreaking but empowering, as each woman reclaims her narrative and refuses to be painted as the villain. Where does Robyn go from here? Robyn Brown's future in this franchise is uncertain. Though she remains legally married to Kody, the emotional and familial support system that once surrounded her is gone. She's now left in a dynamic where Kody is angry, isolated, and estranged from most of his children. Without the buffer of other wives, Robyn is no longer just a favorite wife, she's the only wife. But as her behavior on the tell-all reveals, she's not stepping up to build bridges. Her refusal to acknowledge her role in the family's breakdown, and her attempt to laugh off criticism, may only further alienate her from the viewers and the remaining Browns. Final thoughts: Sister Wives Season 19 Tell-All Part 2 is a wake-up call. This tell-all special didn't just recap the season, it rewrote the narrative. For years, viewers watched these women navigate an increasingly dysfunctional polygamous dynamic with grace, grit, and, at times, heartbreaking submission. But this time around, they're done playing nice. Robyn's mooing may have grabbed headlines, But the real story is in the strength of the women who have walked away. Christine, Janelle, and Mary are moving on, not just physically, but emotionally. And Kody? He's being forced to confront what happens when a man who demanded loyalty gives none in return. This isn't just a recap, it's a reckoning.